Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.
Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 5th September 2021. Let us see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the important developments. First of all, we will take overview of all these articles, then we will discuss them one by one in detail. So first, mains related articles. On FAQ page there is this article, what are the new IT rules on provident fund savings, PF savings. Okay, so we will look into all these details of rules, rationale behind bringing these new rules by the government. At the same time, the implementation hurdles that the government may face, or let's say EPFO and other institutes may face in complying with these new income tax rules. Okay, this is important from GS3 paper economy part. Then new measures to stubble burning in Punjab. This is important because stubble burning or crop residue burning is very important issue related to environment section. Every year during winter time, especially during the month of November, we experience the dense smog formation in Delhi and NCR region, and crop residue burning in Punjab and Haryana has been one of the most significant reason behind this. So these new measures, how they will impact on this smog formation in near future, we have to understand this. So this is important from GS3 paper environment section as well as GS1 paper geography part, because crop and cropping pattern, all these aspects are involved here. Yes. Then yoga break or why break to improve efficiency at work. So in the new order by the Ministry of Personnel to all government departments to implement this 5-minute yoga break in all government offices. So this why break is designed by the Ministry of Ayush. Okay. So this is important to improve the efficiency at workplace through the yoga and meditation. One can understand the de-stress and rejuvenation of the people at the workplace may happen, that may result in increase in efficiency and productivity of the people or workers, we can say that, work personnel. This is important from GS4 paper ethics part. Why? Because there are some important topics, or we can say that as a part of GS4 paper ethics syllabus here, like we can say that ethics in public administration is also there, or we can also talk about the efficiency of the civil services. At the same time, work culture is also important aspect, emotional intelligence is also part of syllabus. So how to improve that? Through yoga and meditation. That is now being practiced at the workplace also. Yes. Then after 1 year, Nipah virus infection is found in Kerala now. So that's why the basics about Nipah virus we should understand from science perspective, environment perspective and health perspective also. Then 28% of 1,38,000 assessed species face extinction. It is said by IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, IUCN. So basics about IUCN, as well as it has also launched green status for conservation of species and the status about the conservation and recovery of these species. Okay, and finally practice prelims MCQ on today's current affairs. Yes. So first article, FAQ page, what are the new IT rules on PF savings? Okay, so the context here is that recently Finance Ministry has notified the new income tax rules to impose fresh tax on PF savings, provident fund savings. Okay, so it has been debated, it is being debated in news, basics about PF. So provident fund is basically a generic term. It is for those who want to make, let's say, saving for their old age, or we can say after retirement, they need some kind of resources, and the savings for that purpose is done at present itself through these provident fund accounts. Okay, so there are three types of provident funds in general. So yes, EPF. So this is employees provident fund. This is employees provident fund, and this has some kind of legal basis that those employers having 20 or more employees working for it, 20 or more employees working for it, and earning more than rupees 15,000 per month in that company. So for that purpose they have to make contribution compulsorily. So at present the legal status says that 12% will be contributed of the basic pay and dearness allowance. 12% of it will be contributed by employee, and the similar 12% will be remitted by the employer also in his account, that is account of the employee. These are the rules for APF. They can make let's say more than this voluntary contribution, both employee as well as employer, but minimum 12% of basic pay. Present rules says about this. This is about EPF. Now what is PPF? Public Provident Fund. Public Provident Fund, it says that the common people, so whether they are self-employed or even unemployed, they can also contribute to their old age savings, right? So this is through PPF account. This is through PPF account. Generally we see that all these banks, when we open into our applications, mobile applications of these banks, they have the open PPF account, right? So this is actually Public Provident Fund, right? And the third one is GPF, Government Provident Fund. The third is GPF, Government Provident Fund. So here this is dedicated for government employees. Okay, this is dedicated for government employees. So in this manner, the three types of provident funds are there in India: for government, for private sector, and for those self-employed or unemployed common people. Right. Now, how these rules are there? Basically, this year's budget, Finance Minister had declared that the contributions to the provident funds more than 2.5 lakh will be taxed here. Okay, so the income earning from the such kind of, let's say, provident fund contributions, they will be taxed here, and now the new rules are notified for that. Government's rationale behind the move. So the government rationale behind the move is that there is misuse of provision of tax-free contributions by high net income individuals. Okay, so basically this is for in general we can say that the poor people, or we can say that those who want to make saving for their old age life, they do not have other such avenues from where they can have the livelihood after their retirement, right? So for that purpose such kind of provident funds are made, but high net income individuals, they are actually investing in this provident funds and earning more and more interest, which is tax free, before these rules. Now after these rules, they will be taxed here. Okay, so in this manner we should understand the rationale here is that the misuse of this tax free contributions and the benefits, this is being misused by the high income individuals. Okay, now which provident funds will be affected? Which provident funds will be affected? Now here the specific you should understand that EPF This is for specifically EPF, Employee Provident Funds. Okay, and we can say that the PPF and GPF will not be impacted. Will not be impacted. Okay, so in this manner we should understand that. Now EPFs are basically, there is one regulatory body who maintains these accounts and all these EPFO, Employee Provident Fund Organization, right? So this is going to implement the new measures. So why were the new rules needed to implement this tax? So new rules were needed to bring more clarity, on how taxation will be implemented, because there was only one policy proposal in the budget, this year's budget, that those above the contributions above 2.5 lakh to the provident fund will be taxed, but there was no clarity on how it will be taxed. Okay, so whether the let's say year on year basis, whatever the, let's say, interest that is generated, that will be taxed, or we can say that when the money is finally withdrawn from the PF account, then it will be taxed. It was no clear. It was there was needed the clarity here, and that's why the new rules are added here. Now what do new IT rules say about levying PF tax? The new rules says that there will be creation of two accounts now of PF. So one account will be split into two accounts, and these two accounts will have first taxable income and second non-taxable income. Okay, so in this manner we should understand here. Now the provisions are specifically clear. That so 2.5 lakhs above contributions to EPF, they will be taxed, and for the GPF we can say that above 5 lakh the free taxation is already there. Okay, so below 5 lakh contributions the tax will not be there for GPF. For EPF below 2.5 lakh there will not be tax, and above that now there will be taxation, right? So what are the challenges in the implementation now? The challenges in the implementation, one, we can say that the statistical challenge of maintaining two accounts by EPFO and Provident Fund Trust. Some of the Provident Fund Trust are also there by the large companies. They are acting as a parallel with EPFO. So this is statistical challenge. Second, we have to also understand that these organizations like EPFO will have to issue form number 26 IT. According to IT rules, if suppose the IT returns are to be filed, then these employers are supposed to, we can say that the revenue department or income tax department provides this form number 26 also. Or here, if you are filing such income tax returns with EPFO now, then EPFO is also supposed to provide this annual, we can say that. And basically whatever the returns that are let's say filed here in the EPFO, they will be now considered as the taxable income, right? So in this manner, the statistical challenge as well as some kind of, let's say, problem to the common people also, or those employees also, how to, let's say, manage this income tax and how to file this income tax with different authorities. These are the challenges in terms of implementation. Okay, so in next week we are expecting further analysis of all these in different articles. Fine? Okay. Now, yes, Punjab breathes innovation, finds gainful uses for paddy stubble. Yes. So, since last 3-4 years, we have witnessed huge increase in smog formation or air pollution in Delhi and NCR region and even the surrounding North Indian plains. The main contributory factor is being considered as crop residue burning or stubble burning in Punjab, Haryana, Western UP region. Okay, so for that purpose, the Punjab government has come up with new innovative ideas to to manage the stubble here, post-harvest stubble. Let me give you some background here. That green revolution has resulted into we can say Punjab, Haryana and Western UP region as a leading grain producing states in India, and rice is being cultivated as important kharif crop in these states. Now what happens is when the combine harvest or combine machine is used to harvest the rice crop, the crop residue remains in the farms. However, the rabi crop, the next crop that in the new season, winter season is wheat crop, and the time available for sowing the wheat crop is only around 20 to 21 days, that is 3 weeks time available. So, because of this less time availability, what is happening is the farmers used to burn this stubble in the farm itself. Okay, and because of that huge large scale, we can say that pollution used to happen. These pollutants were carried further onwards towards Delhi and NCR region because of we can say westerly winds that are flowing. Okay, so westerly disturbances are there, and these are actually bringing all these pollutants with them, and the dense fog and plus this smoke together forming smog. Okay, this is the situation you should understand here. What are the measures? Yes, fiscal incentives are being given to the industries and permit certain categories of industries to install paddy straw fired boilers, and it is providing fiscal incentives to install that. Such industries include sugar mills, pulp and paper mills, besides any industry having boiler installation. Okay. Then new and existing units of distilleries and breweries proposing replacement of old boilers or expansion with installation of new boilers are required to use paddy straw as fuel in boilers. Then, to spur the use of straw, the government has decided to provide cumulative fiscal incentives of 25 crore to first 50 existing industry on first come first serve basis. The government has also approved non-fiscal incentives to industries in terms of availability of panchayat land for storage of paddy straw with lease agreement of up to 33 years. Okay, so in this manner new initiatives are being taken. You need to be aware about some data also. Over 50 million tons of paddy straw is burnt in the open fields ahead of winter sowing in these states. Okay, so you can mention this in your mains answer. This is important from GS1 paper geography part, GS3 paper environment section also. Now, promote yoga break among staff, says center. So, one of the order by personnel ministry, it says that or asks its departments to promote 5-minute yoga break or Y break it is called among the employees to refresh, de-stress, refocus them with enhanced efficiency at workplace. It is designed by Ayush Ministry. Android based application Y break is also designed here, and the same is made available in Google Play Store for access by public. First of all, a demonstration is being done in the government departments. Now it is also promoted in the private companies also. Try to understand that whenever we talk about workplace productivity or efficiency, be it government or private sector, what we require is the human resource needs to be always motivated, energized, and it should feel that let's say dedicated to the work, and some kind of motivation is required for that. And there is always some kind of stress while working at the job, both in private sector or public sector, right? So there needs to be some activity which will de-stress the employees, it will refresh them, refocus them. So it is designed in such a way to de-stress these employees. Okay, yoga break, and we can understand that as a part of traditional medicine and prescription. So as a preventive health care, we can say that yoga is promoted by India, not only in let's say in the country as well as at world stage, right? So this is important. From ethics paper, we can say that emotional intelligence, working under stressful condition may result into burst of anger, or let's say work culture problems. All these may result into decline in efficiency and productivity at workplace. And that's why de-stressing activity, emotional management is very important. So these activities will help the employees to improve their emotional intelligence. Okay, ultimately it will promote professionalism, and we can say that increase the efficiency and productivity of the institution or organization. Fine. So emotional intelligence, work culture, how to promote this? You can mention the why break, yoga break, that is being promoted. Yes. Nipah surfaces in Kozhikode after year. So Nipah virus, after 1 year, the new case has been found in Kerala. About this Nipah virus, it is zoonotic virus. Zoonotic virus means transmitted from animals to humans. The natural host of the virus is fruit bats. Okay, fruit bats, and it is transmitted from animals to human, and it can be also transmitted through contaminated food or directly between people to people contact. Nipah virus. It causes range of illness from asymptomatic infection to acute respiratory illness and fatal encephalitis, where we can say nervous breakdown may also happen. Severe or fatal encephalitis. The virus can cause severe diseases in animals also, for example pigs, which will result into significant economic loss for farmers also. Like piggeries are also there, right? Pig farming. So there the farmers' loss can happen. Nipah virus was first recognized in 1999 during the outbreak in the pig farmers in Malaysia. Okay, so fruit bats are natural hosts, and in outbreaks in Bangladesh and India, for example like this one. So during the previous decade we have seen such outbreaks in India. Basically it is from consumption of fruits or fruit products such as raw date palm juice contaminated with urine or saliva from infected fruit bats, most likely a source of infection. Okay, so yes, the case has been found in Kerala. Central government's team has reached Kerala at the particular location to find out how this particular new case is emerged in that area, and preventive measures are being taken here. 28% of 1,38,000 assessed species face extinction, says IUCN. Okay, so habitat loss, over-exploitation, illegal trade has been the important reasons, and now the contemporary issue of climate change is also taking toll on the extinction of the species, right? Then the IUCN also officially launched its green status, the first global standard for assessing species recovery and measuring conservation impacts. This is important for prelims examination, very important. Green status, the first global standard for assessing species recovery and measuring conservation impact. Now, how does it measure or let's say define recovery, green status? A species is fully recovered if it is present in all parts of its range and it is viable, not threatened with extinction in all parts of range, and it is performing its ecological function in all parts of its range. Then we can say that it is fully recovered. In this manner, the scoring is given from 0 to 100%. It is called as green score. Fine? Yes. Now about basics about IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. This was found in 1948. It has headquarter in Gland, Switzerland. Okay, so yes, vision is just word for values and conserve nature. Okay, so just word that values and conserves nature. This is the vision. It supports scientific research, manages field projects globally and brings government, NGOs, UN agencies, companies, non-governmental organizations on the common table for the purpose of conservation of the species and formation of policy in that direction. It is known to the wider public for compiling and publishing IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. We call it as IUCN Red Data Book, right? We in general, whenever we are having the particular threatened species in news, we cover this, right? IUCN status, conservation status. IUCN Red Data Book. Every year it is released and yes, the status is revised also. Now, the members includes both state as well as non-governmental organizations in this body. Priority areas: biodiversity, climate change, sustainable energy, human well-being, green economy. These are the 5 areas. Some additional information: it is having observer and consultative status at United Nations. At the same time, it was involved in establishing WWF, Worldwide Fund for Nature, and World Conservation Monitoring Center also. So this much information is sufficient about this organization. In environment section for prelims examination, we can expect such question from the on the environmental such organizations, be it let's say governmental, intergovernmental or the non-governmental organization which are involved in the conservation of the species. Yes. So what could be answer to this question? Try to solve this. Yes. So the question talks about green status. Yes. So just now we discussed about green status. It is the global standard for assessing species recovery and measuring conservation impact. This is correct statement. It is launched by Worldwide Fund for Nature. No, this is incorrect. It is launched by IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Right. So one only is the correct answer in this particular question. Fine. So these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Thank you.